This is the story about how I wanted to feel rich, so I went to expensive open houses, only for it to go horribly wrong. Today, I'm going to $1 million homes because one of the things I want to do this year is attract abundance and wealth. I just want to feel rich and feel that luxury in my life every day. So I figured what better way to do it than to surround myself with money. So I decided to go to these multi-million-dollar houses, walk around, pretend that this is what my life is like, and get the feeling of what it would be like to be in these luxurious spaces. And also, quite frankly, I'm just curious what these homes are really like. So I'm about to head off and go to a few of these houses. I will say I've already researched them ahead of time, so I spent this morning looking through all the open houses and trying to find the ones that were $1 million. And I wrote down all the addresses. I've got it on a list right here. Let's go for a ride. First, I started out at this house that was $1.8 million. One of the first things I saw was this tiny, tiny, tiny backyard. And the real estate agent even told me that I would be lucky because this house actually comes with a backyard. Yeah, that's what she said. So you can see this beautiful living space, and this kitchen is absolutely gorgeous. I'm doing a quick walk around. I do love this kitchen and it was really nice. Now I'm upstairs and the first place I go is the master bedroom. It is a pretty spacious bedroom, and then I go into the bathroom and it's nice, but it's a little underwhelming. It's got the standard shower, bathtub, and vanities, but nothing really too special. And this did have a nice closet. I really enjoy these walk-in closets because I don't have one. As I walk through the rest of the house, it's just bedroom after bedroom after bedroom with some bathrooms and closets. Again, nothing too fancy. Okay, first house down. That house was about 1.8 million. It was kind of a shock because it did not post anywhere in the ad, I believe, that it is actually a duplex. A duplex for $1.8 million, and it's in the back of the property. Yeah, and it was a nice house, but I feel like for $1.8 million, I could get a lot more than what that was. I don't think the location is necessarily worth $1.8 million. So I'm not really sure where this price is coming from, probably because it's a brand new build and they tried to make it look fancy. This first house was more for me to just calm my nerves because I already walked into that house knowing I couldn't afford it. And even though that's not really what I should be thinking about, it was still really nerve-wracking. Like, I didn't know if someone would know that I couldn't afford the house or, be judgmental, which I can handle those kind of people. I just still, it makes me nervous. And the lady was really nice. No one ever really looked at me. So that gave me the confidence to move on to the next. Here's the second house I went to. It is also $1.8 million. I'm in the craft room / mud room right now. This is about all you're going to see of the kitchen because the real estate agent was standing right there watching me and I just didn't have the courage to record. I then headed downstairs because the real estate agent told me there was a movie room downstairs, and I said, now that sounds like $1 million house. It does have a rough in for an elevator, which I thought was a little bougie. It's got a little wine bar too. I love that. Then I walked into the movie room and it's just a small room, not much in there, no movie theater seating, just a little couch, and there's no projector, just wires hanging out of a wall. It was quite disappointing. Again, some bathroom and the garage and whatnot. I did make it upstairs, excuse my keys and fingers in the view. Some bathrooms and bedrooms, again, nothing fancy. Here's the washroom, and then I walked through the closet, which actually was a pretty nice closet. And I ended up in the master bathroom, which was by far the highlight of this entire trip. I love the bathtub right in the middle of the view. The shower was on the left, and it had these two beautiful vanities. It was absolutely stunning in that bathroom. I was a little underwhelmed by the master bedroom. It was kind of small, and that was really it for this house. Again, I was a bit underwhelmed and nothing too fancy. So I just finished the open house from the second house, and it again was a duplex. And I don't understand, because if I'm paying $1.8 million for a house, I'm not gonna buy a duplex in the suburbs. It's kind of weird. But it did have a wonderful bathroom, so I sat, I stood in the bathroom and I imagined myself in the bathroom taking a luxurious bath and doing my routine care and whatnot, and it was really nice. And so I'm gonna try and do that for the next home, is just really visualize myself in it, and we'll see how it goes.
And here we are at the last house, which was listed for $1.1 million. Here, there's a living area. The fireplace is really nice, but then you get to the kitchen, and I was really underwhelmed. For a $1 million house, this kitchen just seems pretty standard. If you look at the stainless steel sink, there are scratches all over it. There's not even the correct grouting attaching the marble countertops to the backsplash. And overall, I felt like the construction of this house was not very good. The first thing I noticed as I was going up the stairs was that these stairs are not normal. I tripped going up the stairs. And then the first room I went into, I said, oh, this is a nice room. It wasn't a very big room, but it was nice. And I saw this little room off to the side, a little closet. It was at this time that I realized this was the master suite. I was in a bit of a shock because the rooms were small and this bathroom was small, but the biggest shock was yet to come. As I walked further down, I realized that the bathtub is inside the shower. I've never seen anything like this before, and I can't imagine it's fun to clean, and maybe it's possibly even dangerous. I stared at this for quite some time because I couldn't believe that someone put a bathtub in the shower. I just couldn't believe it. I looked at the vanities, and one of the vanities was missing a mirror. I was starting to get really disappointed in the details of this house. For $1.1 million, I didn't feel like this was a very good deal. And as I walked further through the house and toward the other bathrooms and bedrooms, I noticed several things like uneven flooring, nicks in the doors, and just overall being underwhelmed at how this property looked. Quite frankly, halfway through the tour, I did not even want to be in this house anymore. And the only things I kept thinking was I wouldn't want to live in this house, and who would pay this much money to live in this house, because it is not worth $1.1 million. I was ready to get out.
So I just finished looking at the last house that I went to go see, and it was a terrible house. I did not expect for $1 million. That one I think was, listed at 1.1. I did not expect it to be such a bad house. The doors had lots of nicks in them and bangs, and there were places that weren't caulked properly, and you already saw my experience of the bathtub in the shower, which was weird. There wasn't anything in that house that I wanted to visualize myself being in, unfortunately. Today has turned out pretty surprising because, I envisioned going into these really nice homes and picturing myself living there, and for most of these places, I didn't want to live there. So that was a very interesting observation. I think I'm definitely going to try this again, but I might go about it a little bit differently. I might try and do, instead of looking at the price, I might actually try and look at, is it like a condo in the city? Does it have a nice view? Is it in a certain area of town? Because these definitely were, all three of these houses were pretty underwhelming. I think it was still fun to go out and look at houses. I love doing that anyway. And it was a good exercise, I think, because it got me excited about the possibility of looking for something new and doing something different that I don't normally do in my day. And even if I'm not really looking to move right now, what if I happen upon a house that I just absolutely adore? You never know. So I say overall this was a failed attempt, but I hope it was an entertaining video nonetheless.